Soon we'll be officially saying goodbye to 2020, but before closing the year out, we're taking a look back at some of the biggest changes within our community.
Our own Durante Matthews shows us how Peoria Public Schools have managed the pandemic and what they're expecting to be headed into in the next year.
2020, a year that's been unlike any other in recent history, and a year that some Peoria teachers say, in the simplest terms, has required them to be
flexible, because we've had to be really flexible about how we're teaching and how we're doing things right now.
This is right now. Peoria Public Schools currently on winter break after transitioning to a hybrid learning environment. But let's take a step back to the start of the year. Students and teachers freely in classes. No masks, no social distancing, no worries. But then March came along with the arrival of a global pandemic, throwing the education system through a loop.
COVID-19, the pandemic, has actually been the dominant story for Peoria Public Schools.
District 150 Superintendent Dr. Sharon Desmoulin-Carrot says schools throughout the nation have felt the impact of COVID-19, but she's proud of the way they've managed over the past 9 months.
I think we have been able to navigate rather gracefully, although there have been lots of bumps.
She says since March, the district has provided more than 500,000 meals, and as students went from in-person visual learning to virtual learning, they've taken more than 8,000 devices into students' homes to bridge the digital gap.
You have that handful that, online is just not going to cut it for them, and in-person is better. But overall, I do think it's been successful.
Lauren Wolf, who's both a teacher and a parent of students in the district, says suddenly switching learning platforms has been both challenging and advantageous, and says self-care has been instrumental for mental health this year.
Even if it's when my kids go to bed, I will take time for myself just to decompress.
This year, the district has also decided to replace Peoria police officers in the school buildings with armed security guards. They've decided to change the names of 6 schools whose names are tied to racism, and also formed partnerships to provide rapid COVID-19 testing for all students and staff.
That is just, for everybody's safety, that is an important step.
Going into the new year, Dr. Carrot says the goal is to continue finding new ways to help combat any learning loss 2020 may have caused.
We're looking at a variety of options, and we're starting to have those conversations.
In Peoria, Durante Matthews, WYZZ News.